Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel. Excuse the noise you're hearing in the background, I'm just getting something ready for something I'm going to need for this video. Just gonna finish that up. I'm not going to give it away because that's going to give away some of what I've got going on here. Okay. Wow, that scraping on that was annoying. But anyway, as you can see, we actually got a delivery in. I'm not going to spoil who it's by yet, but you see the box on the table? That means we've got goodies coming in. So, we are going to get to that, but before I do that, I'm going to show off some stuff that I picked up at my local game store earlier today, since this is going to be a night of deliveries. One of the games that I grabbed was Star Wars Battle of Hoth by Days of Wonder. Now, I saw Jester playing this last night, and it looked interesting, so I figured, okay, I can probably give this a go as Conflict Board Gaming first to stop by. So this is supposed to be in the Commands and Colors series, which I initially think I'm going to bounce off of, but I'm willing to give this a whirl, since I do really enjoy the Star Wars universe. Battle of Hoth, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. On the deserted, icy planet Hoth, the usual silence is suddenly broken by the mechanical rumble of giant steel walkers. From their trenches, the courageous rebel troopers finally spot the Imperial forces, relentlessly moving toward them. The Rebel Alliance scrambles their valuable snowspeeder squadrons in a desperate attempt to slow down the ground assault and complete the evacuation of Echo Base. General, prepare your troops for a surface attack. From Darth Vader. Battle for Hoth is a fast-paced miniatures battle game in which you choose either the ferocious Imperial army or the courageous rebel forces. Outmatch your opponent through cunning orders and by adopting bold, decisive strategies. But even the best laid plans can fail if chance is not on your side. We'll probably be cracking that open later tonight here yet. In addition to that, we also have more Dice Throne. We've got Cyclops, Gambit, Rogue, and Jean Grey. Jean Grey, also known as Phoenix, although based on what we see on the back, I think she might be bringing Dark Phoenix in. So, I'm not going to go through all of these characters. We'll probably be unboxing that tonight as well. Also in here, we've got more Dice Throne. This time we've got the Barbarian versus the Moon Elf. This is one of the starter boxes. We'll take a look at the back of that. We've got the Barbarian, not exactly the most elegant hero around, whereas the Moon Elf is considerably more elegant. Now you're probably wondering to yourself, Phoenix Knight, why are you getting more? Dice Throne doesn't seem like a game that's up your alley. Why are you not only picking it up at all, but getting more of it? The reason I'm looking at it so hard, and I am starting to pick up more of it, is actually coming from some conversations I've been having with Jester as we've been going through Christmas in Arkham this year, especially when we went through the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament, which if you missed that, you should go back and watch the tournament, because that's how we got our opponent for Christmas in Arkham this year. But to talk about how that's relevant to Dice Throne coming into my collection, the reason that's relevant is because I'm looking at new ways to determine my opponent for Christmas in Arkham. One of the ideas that I've been working on of late is actually a Dice Throne tournament instead of the Fate of the Elder Gods tournament. I've done some research over the last few days, and it turns out there are, in addition to the Ancient Ones that are in the tournament, there are two more that I can't use in Fate of the Elder Gods because they didn't have official variants in Eldritch Horror. Actually, there were, two more, plus there are a few more Ancient Ones that don't cross all three games, but are only missing an Eldritch Horror. So I did some research, found some fan variants on the Ancient Ones, and was able to find three more of those Ancient Ones that bring me up to 14 Ancient Ones that I could use in the Fate, that I could use if I were to find another way to determine the opponent for Christmas in Arkham other than Fate of the Elder Gods. So I'm exploring some ways to do that. Dice Throne is one of them, so that'll bring me up to 10 characters once I get that cracked. Plus, I've got another box of Marvel Dice Throne coming in from Jester that I'm expecting on Saturday, but I'll stay tuned to the channel for that. Anyway, if that pans out the way I think it will, That'll bring me up to 14 characters in Dice Throne, to 14 Ancient Ones in Fate of the Elder, not Fate of the Elder Gods, that cross all 3 games in the Arkham Horror files. So a Dice Throne tournament is definitely one way I could explore to setting up to find an opponent for Christmas in Arkham. I probably would stick with Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu for the Summer of Lovecraft, just because there's not as much time in the summertime as there is in the winter. So now that I've got that ramble out of the way, let's jump into this box. If you were able to zoom in, I didn't want to zoom in, because I would get spoilerific. But this is actually the first of my orders from the play sale that was going on. For Black Friday. Play Games has a big sale, 50% off of PDFs, 10% off anything previously released. And I actually got quite a few things from Play. I've got another pair of orders due in probably next week sometime. But this is the big one of the bunch. Let's crack it open and see what we've got in here. I can ever slice this nice and clean. Okay? We'll get all this out of shot. Try to hide that. Okay. Alright. Just reading all of this. Okay, for free downloads that come with each of the games. Okay, I'm going to take a look at all of that. And I'm just confirming the order. Okay, let's get into this box and see what we've got in here. The first thing that we're going to be greeted by is, I think we'll take this out first. I'm trying to unbox this all in an order that's going to make sense. The first thing we've got in here, though, is the playmat for Red, White, and Blue Racing. Oh, that's slick. I can put the track down here. I've got the leader up here, along with reminders on break bonuses, top group, middle group, and I can actually lay out the entire bottom group. Not sure how warm I am to that idea, but it is actually pretty cool, though. That way I can lay everything out, and if you've been watching my plays of Red, White, and Blue Racing, you'll know I use an arrow token to go through everything, so that'll actually get a lot easier with the bottom group out here. So that's actually very cool. And in case you're wondering what I was preparing earlier, you might have heard some of it off shot. I'm actually getting some of these slack hangers ready so I can hang these playmats up. So trying to make sure I've got my storage all taken care of as well. Alright, next thing that we've got in here, I think we'll do this next. Yep. Next thing we're greeted by in here is a playmat for Hockey Blast, also obviously by Play Games. This is actually the XHL playmat, which uses the black ice. Now I know the NHL uses white ice. I don't much care. It's my league, it's my replay, my table. If I want them to play on the black ice, they're going to play on the black ice. I'm going to take a drink of my Crystal Light as well. But this mat actually does use the full roster layout. And it's actually got spaces to note where your centers, your forwards, your defensemen, and your goalies go. You can also put the momentum and submission tokens out. That's actually very cool. That'll make my life very easy. And I've been annoyed by the times I put Hockey Blast on the channel. I've used the two pieces of the board together, and that's kind of driven me nuts with how easily they've separated. So it'll be nice to have everything for the entire board in one solid piece. So we can get that out of the way as well. We'll get that hung up as well. We're going to pull that out of the way because that'll make more sense in a minute. Next thing we're greeted by in here, pull this out, we have got, come on, there we go. We have got Dodgeball World Tour, Heroes and Heels. Action, drama, balls. Welcome to the Dodgeball World Tour. This game is designed to create an experience akin to Vince Vaughn and Ben Stiller's movie version of professional dodgeball, but presented as a touring roadshow similar to professional wrestling. On the Dodgeball World Tour, an ever-evolving collection of teams travels from city to city, entertaining fans with a nightly program that features an escalating series of matches. There's no regular season, it's always the playoffs. The championship is always on the line, every night in the featured match. Like pro wrestling, the Dodgeball World Tour blends a strong storyline element with competitive sports action, good versus evil, right versus wrong. The script writes itself as you play the game. And we'll see what all we've got in here when we crack this open a little bit later. The next thing we're greeted by in here is the Course Collection 20 for History Maker Golf. This is something we could use to design our own courses. As we see, we've got a generic hole on here. And if you're familiar with how the holes work in History Maker Golf, you'll recognize a lot of all that. So we can use that to design our own courses. And yes, this one may be a fun one as Dave's Tabletop Gaming now joins us. I'm a little annoyed that this course collection actually kind of tore open. Oh, you're talking about dodgeball. We'll find out about that soon enough. I'm going to get a bag that I can put this course collection in because that's starting to bug me a little bit. I don't think a sandwich bag is going to fit. Let me go up to a size bigger. Snack bag won't work. What I'm looking for is a quart-sized bag. That one won't work. I know the size I'm looking for, so bear with me a minute while I go through my bag of bags off shot and find the size bag I'm looking for. This one will probably do for now. So there's the bag I'm using. It's a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be, but I think we can work with it for the time being. So at least that keeps that out of the way. The next thing we'll pull out here is the all-time great women's golfers for History Maker Golf. Similar to the men's set, we can use these for a greatest women's tournament. So that's just another set for History Maker Golf. Next thing we've got in here is another how-to guide. This one for second season football, similar to what you saw for History Maker Golf and what I actually picked up from Dave's Tabletop Gaming when I went down that way last month for History Maker Baseball. So it's just another tool I could use to create more second season football seasons. So that's very cool. Next thing we've got in here is the Kurt Berglund's 50 Years of More Baseball Greatness set for History Maker Baseball. I'm not going to go through all of this, but from the sounds of it, looks like we've got backup players for every team in the Kurt Berglund's 50 Years of Greatness set. So those will need to get sorted in here, or those will need to get sorted in. So our next thing that we're greeted by in here, and I kind of jumped around the order a little bit, and some of these products that I'm getting will start making sense once I bring this in shot. The next thing we've got here is Let's Play Tennis by Play Games. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of tennis in the world, and as much as I was going back and forth on it, when the holiday sale came up, I finally said, all right, screw it, I'm going to grab it, give tennis a go. I liked Inside Volley Tennis when I played that last month, but I was feeling a little bit, I don't know, I felt like some story was missing from Inside Volley Tennis when I played that on the channel. We'll take a look at this on the back, see if it's a text wall. I'm afraid it's going to be. it is. So when we actually unbox Inside Volley, when we actually unbox Let's Play Tennis, we'll go through this at that point. But that's Inside Volley, that's Let's Play Tennis. So now our last two items are going to make a little more sense. Because we've also got the playmat for Let's Play Tennis. So we can put our players on either side. We should have pawns for the games, the points, and the tie break. I probably could have grabbed something like this for if I wanted to just do Inside Volley Tennis. This actually is a pretty good playmat either way. It's a lot better than what comes with the game parts for Inside Volley Tennis. So I'll probably be using this, assuming tennis becomes a regular thing on the channel moving forward. We'll get that hung up. That'll make the last product in here make a lot more sense, because what we've got in here is the all-time great stars for Let's Play Tennis. Similar to the greatest sets for History Maker Golf, like the women's set we've got. So this is a bunch of the all-time great players in tennis. So that is everything in the box. As we'll bring everything back in. I'm not going to bring in the games from my local game store as well. But that is everything that came in the box with this delivery product unboxing. I'll probably start doing some unboxings yet tonight. And I think we're done with playing games for tonight. But there will be a game on the channel tomorrow. At least one, but I will be making my yearly Noble Night run tomorrow as well. So there won't be an afternoon game tomorrow. There might be a later afternoon game. There should be an evening game as well, but stay tuned for all of that on the channel. So thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.